Yo, what's up, everybody? Baz in Alabama, and today gonna be a little a video. I'm just gonna talk about some stuff that just happened with one of the ponds that I was that I had started fishing at uh, last year. It's gonna be another video on the same topic. Uh, so y'all stay tuned to that. It's gonna be two videos, pretty much talking about the same exact thing, just different puns. But before we get into this video, I want you all to, if you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button, hit that bell notification, hit that share button, share the channel, because I'm trying to get my channel to grow. I'm trying to get over the minimum requirements that YouTube asking for now to get my channel monetized. So if you all would do that for me, I greatly appreciate that. So we're gonna get into this video, and I'm going to link two videos somewhere in this video, either at the top, at the end of the video, somewhere. I may drop a link in the description. But the two videos that I'm talking about now, one of them is called I Finally Took the John Boat Out, I Caught a Big Bass. That's one of the videos from the pond that I'm about to talk to you all about. And then I have another one called Late Winter Bass Fishing. Those videos, I put them out right behind each other. They was different days. So you all, if you want to start watching this one, that's cool. Go and catch those. Or you just watch this one, then go back and watch them. But I really want y'all to watch those videos because the pun I'm about to talk to was a good pun. Okay. And I'm also gonna include a picture that I screenshotted from like Google Earth showing you that pond. And we're gonna talk about the pond. So I'm gonna get started. Okay, the pond that I'm talking about, I found out about this pond, and I may be repeating some stuff that I said in those two previous videos while I was fishing those pond. But I found out about that pond where I knew about that pond for a long time. But I fished that pond probably about 13, 14 years ago for the first time. I had a guy to take me out there with him because he told me you could fish in the pond. So me and him went out. He put his John boat in and we fished. But neither one of us caught a fish. We didn't even get a bite. But that guy kept telling me that there's some good fish in that pond. We was fishing for bass, and we kept fishing, but we never got a bite. And I don't think we didn't get a bite because it was a bad pond. I feel like we didn't get a bite due to the fact that we only had plastic, oh man, I can't get it out. We only had soft plastics. That's all we had, soft plastic worms. And this years ago, we talking about 14, 15 years ago. Back then, I didn't know near as much that I know now about bass fishing. So we just going out there we went out there with a few different color plastic worms. We didn't catch a fish. And we ended up leaving, going over to another little place, and caught a few, we caught some bluegills that day. But anyway, that was my last time fishing that pond. I don't know if that guy continued to go out there, but I never went back. And it's not because of that day. It just, I end up moving away. But before I moved away from that city, I kind of slid away from fishing for a little while or whatnot. But one day I ended up going back to that pond because I stayed gone from that pond for a while, and it kind of slipped my mind. I kind of forgot all about that pond. So one day me and my brother went to that pond to fish, and no fishing signs was posted. So we just turned around and we left. And I can't remember exactly how long that, how long it was before I went back the second time. But I knew when I went back, it had been a few years later. And I never went back until May of 2020. I was at my mom's house. It was Mother's Day, to be exact. And we were just sitting around my mom's house, and that pond just popped up in my mind. And I'm like, let me go check this pond out. And when I went over by the pond and I turned around to get to the pond, I looked over the hill and I seen a guy sitting down fishing. And those no trespassing sign, no fishing sign, they was gone. So I didn't stop. I didn't ask nobody I didn't ask the guy about the pond. I just left, went back to my mom's house. But in my mind, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go back down there. When I get a chance, I'm gonna fish it. But the thing about that pond is about an hour away from my house. So I didn't go back to that pond until November of 2020. And I fished it for the first time from the bank. And I caught a total of 4 fish, 4 bass. I took the camera out. I had the camera recording, but I didn't get neither one of those bites on camera. But I did take pictures of a couple of them, and I put them on Instagram. And they were some solid fish, and I may be able to go back in and add those pictures with this video. But I did load them up. I was gonna go on Instagram and see exactly when I post them, but I'm pretty sure I can get them and post those in here. Matter of fact, I'm going to go on Instagram and see can I find some of those pictures, because I may not be able to upload them. May not be able to find them and upload them. If you go down to November the 18th, 2020, November the 18th, and November the 28th. I didn't post those pictures the same day, but those are the fish that I caught. I don't know if you all can see them, but that's one right there. I hope you all can see it. That's one of them. Caught that one on a chatterbait. And this is the other one. I hope you all can see it, but I'm gonna try my best to get those pictures and upload those pictures with this video. I caught that one on a rage crawl. But those were some solid fish. The first one I caught was like a pound. The last two I caught, I ended up I caught 3. Hold on, let me see. I know one of them was, I think I got the weight on. Hold on. Okay, the one that I caught on the chatterbait, it was 3 pounds and 3 ounces. The one that I caught on the rage crawl, I may not got the weight on that one. I think it was like, it was a high 2s, almost 3 pounds. And I caught a third one that was 3 pounds also. So they were solid fish. The smaller one was 1 pound. So I never got a chance to put that video out, but I said some stuff in that video that's pertaining to this video. That's why I want you all to go back and catch the other 2 videos where I fished from that pond, because I talked about some stuff that I felt led up to what's going on now. And I know I talked about it in the video entitled Late Winter Bass Fishing, which I'm gonna have those videos in this so you all can go check them out. Okay, like I said, I went out to those ponds and I fished, caught those fish. They wasn't fish caught back to back, but I caught them in about 4 hours. I caught those fish. So I left and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go back down there and shoot a video. I gotta do a video from that pond. And I went back down there and I did the video, the late winter bass fishing and whatnot. And I had a pretty solid day. I think I caught like 2 or 3 on camera that day. I can't remember, but it was a solid day. Okay, time go by. A week later or so, I go back down to my mom's house, because my mom still stayed in the same spot, 5 minutes away from the pond. My John boat is stored at my mom's house. So I go down to my mom's house, hook up to the boat. Well, let me back up. I get up, well, the night before I go down to get the boat, I had everything rigged up. I get up that morning, we got a full moon. I didn't know we had a full moon. Now I'm questioning myself, do I want to go fish after this full moon? Because we all know the story about fishing after full moon. So I get up, go get gas. I decided to go ahead on and go fishing. So I drive an hour. I go to the pond, fish from the bank for a few minutes. Then I went back to my mom's house and got the boat, because I was like, I just was debating. Yo, what up? I'm back. I don't know, for some reason when we get to filming, I said this in another video, your phone started ringing, but that was one of those phone calls I had to take. But like I said, I got up that morning, seen the full moon, and my confidence level just went down. I'm not gonna lie, it just went completely down. But I still went to the store, got gas, and I made it. I drove the hour, and I went to my mom's house to get the boat. And I was like, nah, you know what? I'm just gonna go do a little filming from the bank, and I'm gonna just wrap it up. So I go to the pond, made a few casts with top water, whatnot, just trying to get the feel of the fish, because I know around that time, fish was starting to move up to start trying to bed. So I fished probably about 20, 30 minutes. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to get my boat. I hadn't put the boat in the water anyway. So I went and got the boat hooked up, went back to the pond, put the boat in, hit a few spots, and I didn't get a bite. But at the same time, I'm getting a feel of the pond. I had my depth finder running, trying to get, like I'm just trying to see the bottom. And the picture that I said I was gonna put up that's where that picture is gonna come into play now, because when I was fishing that pond from the bank, I could tell that that pond wasn't deep. From where I can stand and cast, it wasn't deep. So that was one reason why I wanted to put the boat in, and also get the depth of that pond. So I'm looking at the picture that I'm finna put up in the corner, and I hope you all can see it. Okay. When I got out there to that pond, put the boat in, made casts around, could never get a fish. You know, so I started moving around, started looking for deeper water, just scoping the pond out. And I ended up going around the corner, throw a chatterbait out, get a bite. That's the second video that's gonna be linked. The video title, I finally took the John boat out. Wham! Get a bite. Couldn't really tell how big it was. But anyway, got the fish in. Fish weighed 6 pounds, 3 ounces. That fish was on bed. Now, confidence level go up, but I only caught that one fish. But now I'm going back to what the guy told me years ago, that was a good pond. I see what he was talking about. So now I'm gonna put this picture up. Okay, if you all look at this picture, I hope y'all can read my writing. I edit this through my phone. It's just a screenshot from Google Maps. If you're looking at that pond, the right hand side of that pond is 2 to 4 feet. That was it. So now I go back to thinking about when I was fishing from the bank. And I said that pond was light in the wet. That pond was shallow because I could tell when I was making casts, my bait was hitting the bottom, was getting down to the bottom so fast. But that whole pond, where that black line go from that black line all the way over to the right, is 2 to 4 feet. That's all it is. I couldn't catch a fish in that area. As soon as I started going around to the left side of that black line, if you see where I'm going up, where you see the area say 5 to 9 feet, that's when I started seeing deep water. Started getting a little deeper, 5 to 9 feet. And then you see to the left of that, 10 to 11 feet. And the way I'm giving y'all, Master, I'm so sorry for that noise. I thought they was done more doing all that lawn work. But I'm gonna try, I gotta keep going because I have some more stuff to do. I'm just hoping you all can hear me. I apologize deeply for that noise. I'm trying to hold it out to keep. Just make a bad video with a bunch of weed eating and leaf blowing in the background. Okay. When I left the 2 to 4 feet, I went right around to the left, around that point, and started hitting that 5 to 9 feet. And that's the way I fished. I made that circle, did the 5 to 9, then I went around onto the left, started hitting it 10 and 11. And I stayed in that area because that was the deepest water. And I just stayed in that area. And when I was getting ready to leave, I hit a spot that got up, that was just a drop and dropped down to the 12 feet mark. That was the deepest that pond got, but that 12 feet range, it was only about 10 to 15 yards. That's the only thing. You only had like a 10 to 15 yards of 12 feet. That was it. And it dropped right back down I think to like 5, and then it started running back over to the right to that 2 to 4 feet range. That was it. If you look up there at that corner, you see a green circle. That green circle is where I caught that 6-pound, 3-ounce bass. I caught it at that same exactly that spot. And that red arrow, that line going over to that little small runoff, that spot is another nice spot. I didn't catch a fish in there, but it's fish in that pond, in that little spot. And I'll tell you something, there's a little creek run through there. I eased the John boat through there, but I broke my transducer mount arm, so I wasn't able to get the correct depth in that little area. But if you see to the right of that little small areas, it gets shadowed down that little flat. But back toward the left, close to the creek, as soon as you come through that little creek, it's just a drop onto my, from the way I looked at it, the way I was measuring with my line, I'll say it was over 7 feet, because I stuck one of my rods down in there and I couldn't feel the bottom. So that little hole is deep. I mapped this pond out. That's how, I took my time, troll around that pond to get the water depth. I put it together because I knew where all the shallow water, deep water. I seen the map, I seen the bottom, I seen it had a little structure at the bottom. And as I was going through, I did see a lot of fish on the depth finder, but I didn't get a chance. I couldn't get them to bite, but I did get that 6-pounder to bite. And the fish that I seen, a lot of those fish, those could have been catfish, bass, crappies, whatever. Well, I ain't gonna say crappies, because some of those fish arching was huge. So they could have been catfish, I don't know. But I mapped that pond out. So I was putting a game plan together to go back and fish that pond when it get hot, when it get cold, because I know where the deep water is at. I know where they hanging out at. So that's where I was gonna do good at that pond, because I knew where everything was at. So after I did the video where I caught the big fish, I didn't go back for a while. And I went back to that pond on Easter Sunday. I was at my mom's house. I had me and my son went just to mess around. We get to the pond. The weather was warm. Confidence level up. Told my son, I said, man, I think we can catch a few fish from the bank. We excited. We get down. No fishing sign posted everywhere. Everywhere. That yellow warning sign that you see in the thumbnail, that is one of the actual signs that was nailed on one of the trees that I just took a picture of it. Okay. Now if you go and watch the video that I did, late winter bass fishing, I think that has a lot to do with why those signs are trash all over the ground. And I think that what had something to do with we can't fish in that pond no more. I'm not gonna lie, when I seen those signs, I'm not gonna lie, I was hurt, because I already don't have a lot of places to fish, and the few places that I do have, I fight to catch fish. I don't go out and catch fish back to back. It take me hours just to catch one fish, and that may be the only fish. It's times I've been on the water 3, 4, 5 hours. I've been to multiple ponds in one day and still don't catch a fish. I went fishing 2, 3 trips in a row, 2, 3 days in a row without a fish. That pond right there, you're not catching them back to back, but you can catch them. Like that day I went out there to Full Moon, I caught that one fish, 6 pounds, 3 ounces. That's the biggest fish I've caught in about 4 or 5 years since I caught my personal best. And just to catch it, I'm like, man, but catching those 2, 3 pound bass, that was good. If I go out and catch a 1 pounder, that's fine. Because I did catch something, I didn't get skunked on the water. But just to go out there and see those signs, man, it hurt. Because that's one pond that I got to stretch off my list that I can go to. And plus, put the boat in. Like, man, that hurt so bad. But I just want to say this. If you go out to these ponds, just take your trash home. Whatever you take out, your water bottles, you drink, your soda bottles, your beer bottles, beer cans, whatever, because that's what I was seeing on the ground. Beer cans, I seen everything. I normally go to ponds, I see stuff like that, I pick it up, but that stuff was down there way before I started going back down there. It was too much. Man, to get all that trash up, I need me and 4 or 5 more other people in the trash truck to get all that trash up. It was so much. And like I said, I hadn't been down into that pond. The first time was like in 13, 14 years ago. Then I went back a few years later, probably, let's say like 1, 2 years later, couldn't fish it. Then I finally started fishing in 2020. And y'all see that trash, y'all know I didn't have no part of that. But I wish I could have got some of it up, but it was too much. And they probably gonna stop us from fishing anyway, because it get a lot of pressure. I don't know, but I think that trash had something to do with it. But I just wanted to do this video and just talk about that, and just send a message to the people that, you know, that don't like to clean up behind themselves, just throw trash like it ain't none of my property, I don't care. But you're not only hurting yourself, you're hurting other people too. You know, some of us enjoy, you know, we enjoy fishing. So don't mess it up for the rest of us. And because that was a decent pond, you really could catch fish out of that pond. It was a great pond. You may not catch, like I said, you may not catch them back to back, but I knew I was gonna be able to catch more fish because I had mapped it out. I know where the shallow water is. I know where all the deep water is. I know where all the structures are, the drop offs, all this. So I knew I was gonna be able to catch them. Then to ease through to the other side, to the other little runoff, I knew I could have caught them out of that spot too. But it is what it is. We can't change it. Maybe they'll open it back up in the future. I'll keep an eye on it. Like I said, my family live in that area, so I can get my brother to ride down there and see if the sign's been removed. But if not, I'm gonna keep on grinding, keep on looking for new places to fish. I'm gonna get ready to wrap this video up because I know it's gonna be kind of long, but I am going to have to put this whole video out to get my message across. But I also stay tuned because I got another video up coming behind this one, gonna be on the same, kind of on the same category, in the same category of this video, but it's just about another location. So I'm gonna end this video because I gotta go take care of this phone call that I just received. So so you all stay safe, and like always, continue to stay blessed, and I'll catch you all on the next video.